approaching me. Said I never seen a man who looks so all alone. Could you
Live from the Peach Pit in historic Bruton, Alabama. It's drive time with your host, DJ and KJ.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Drive Time, brought to you by Jim Peach Motors and Pete Chevrolet. Missed all of you guys yesterday. Glad to be back in here with you again this morning. Thank you for joining us here at 8:15-ish on this Friday morning. Good crowd in. First thing this morning, have some great guests with us here today. Going to spend some time with us. Look forward to visiting with them. And good morning, Kenwood.
Good morning. How's it going? Did you have visions yesterday of George Clooney and Marky Mark on a boat facing those that perfect storm together?
Well, we were actually sword fishing, so yes, I did, and we went all the way to the Flemish Cap.
Did you really?
It felt like it.
Let me ask you this, and I'm being as honest as I can be. How, what feeling came over you once you got out and you looked and you could not see the land anymore?
Well, I took one last look as it was starting to disappear, and I could see a little structure. And I looked at Stokes, and I said, well, that's it. I said, we may make it back. We may not, but it's gone.
Well,
I wouldn't have known which way to start swimming. Had something gone wrong out there?
Well, how could you?
I mean, you get turned around, a lot of water.
I mean, seriously, how could you know which way to go?
Had a great time, though. It really was a lot of fun. I'm not a fisherman per se. Stokes certainly enjoyed it. To be out there on the water for 12, 13 hours, that's a lot of sugar for a dime, but it was fun. And Chip was mighty good to take us, and we had a good time.
Well, I tell you, sounded like y'all had a big time and sounded like y'all caught some fish.
We did. We filled the box up with fish. Tim Klein, I think, is the person who was kind of guiding the trip, so to speak, and he put us on them most of the day. Did some bottom fishing, casted for a few, and of course caught a big swordfish.
My question is where is my Ziploc bag?
I've got it
full.
I've got it. We're gonna have a big time with it.
I just wanted to make sure.
You're covered
because that's some good eating right there.
Yeah, you're covered.
So in with us this morning in the driver's seat, first thing is a local celebrity, Miss Susan Reed. Susan knows. I don't think anybody don't know who you are, Susan.
Well,
if they don't, then that's news to me. But you've been how long you been in the banking business around here now?
Oh, a long time, since about 1980.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm old.
Well, no, I don't mean that. I'm just saying that. I was watching a YouTube video the other night about management and management styles, and they were saying that the average tenure for anybody in this country right now at their place of employment, and basically that line of work, is 18 months or less. Mm. And I'm like, that, maybe we live in a bubble and I mean, but I'm thinking, golly, that's just changed so much.
That's a lot of change. And I don't know that we see that as much in our area as we may in some of the larger areas. We at Trust Park, there's not a lot of turnover. We have long-term employees, which is a good thing.
Sure.
So they seem to, I think the benefits, the general working conditions, the customers, we have wonderful customers. That all plays a part in wanting to stay somewhere and make a career out of it.
Well, I can tell you this. My wife will personally attest to how much she loves Trustmark because of the volunteerism and things that y'all come out and do and help with. And I've heard that more than about 10 times. So she's extremely proud to have that type of community involvement from you guys.
And thank you to your wife for that. And we have been in the school this whole week over at Neal Elementary, helping the teachers just do whatever they need us to do. Trustmark is a good company that wants you to get involved in your community. And they have what they call an employee giving day. And each employee can have so many days per year to actually do something in the community, whether it's community service or in the schools or wherever we're needed. And they get out there and do that. So we were asked by the elementary school at W.S. Neal to come out and help out this week. And we enjoyed the teachers and the children very much. It's a great school.
I want to say something real quick. I've seen a classmate of mine, Sambo Smith, and I want to say our thoughts and prayers are with him and Minnie and Glennie and his family with the loss of his father, who was a great man. I don't know if you, DJ,
I knew him well. Spent a lot of time with young kids.
Sure.
Headed up the scouting program for probably 30 years
yes,
anyway.
Yes, great man, a big loss to this community, and just wanted to make sure that they know we are definitely thinking about them. So, but no, so let's talk about the blood drive.
Okay, well, we're in conjunction with the local hospital through One Blood, which is out of Pensacola. And we're having it Monday. It's 9 to 3, right up at the North Side Branch. Big, huge parking lot, plenty of room for everybody to pull in, and anybody that likes to give back to the community. This is a wonderful way to do this because this is going to benefit the local hospital.
Sure.
So we are doing this with D.W. McMillan.
Sure. Well, if you I don't know if they let you film that kind of thing, but DJ said he would be more than happy to volunteer to be first in line.
I want DJ to be first in line. We have him a T-shirt.
And
medium?
He's all about T-shirts.
It's medium. It's medium. Listen,
it can be.
It is
perfect.
It is medium.
How about that?
Athletic fit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It'll fit like a glove.
That is your.
So you wear this Monday morning.
Hey,
this is a good looking shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in Florida, May is Military Appreciation Month. And because they're out of Florida, it's actually a military theme. So it's really a cool T-shirt this time. So you get a free T-shirt, and I think there's a snack that you get as well afterwards.
What are the snacks?
Thought that might interest you.
Now, do they? Is there some form of payment for this, or what was it one time? It was some movie I watched back, one of those '80s movies where these kids had got the bright idea to go sell, I don't know if it was plasma, whatever it was. They were going to sell something because they could get about $40 or $50 a thing. And one of them had went so many times, he was about half dead when he walked into the thing to give it, and they rushed him to the emergency. I can't remember what movie that was, but I thought that was pretty
remember
cool.
seeing that too. I don't think they pay, but it is the satisfaction of knowing that you can help somebody down the line that might need blood. There's a tremendous need for blood. And out of the blood that they get, there's only a small percentage that they can actually use.
Yes.
So it's real important to go ahead and give. And if you've given within more than 60 days ago, then you can give again. It's time.
Does it matter if you go and out the night before and come in maybe a little bit what would you call it? Sleepy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
like that.
I would let them answer that question.
I got you.
I'm going to stick with banking.
Yeah. No, and the reason I'm just asking that question just because you just don't ever know.
You're right. But I think nutrition plays a real important role in that because you do want to be built up because you are losing blood.
I remember they used to come when we were all in school, they used to come to school and do blood drives. Mm-hmm. And, it was always fun to hear who passed out, who didn't.
Dwayne Hammock was a big donor. He had a lot of people donating.
He did. He helped a lot of people donate a lot of blood. I think maybe not willingly.
Didn't always go in the little bag.
Yeah. So, it made it there somehow, but no. So is Trustmark working with D.W. McMillan as far as this goes to kind of partnered up with? Is that how this works?
That's exactly right. And, to try to get some community involvement, we want everybody to know that Trustmark loves our community. And we do, just as you mentioned earlier, we try to do things that benefit the community. And the hospital has a need for blood, of course, all the time. But they will have a blood mobile at their location as well. So theirs might stay a little longer than ours. Ours is 9 to 3. I think theirs may be available until 6. So it all goes for the same purpose and for the same reason. And we're all just one together. And hopefully we'll have a good showing. And anybody who does like to do that, come on out. About 30, 45 minutes of your time, and it goes a long way.
Okay, so can you make this announcement this morning that for the rest of the day till closing time that you are loaning money for 0% at the Northside branch up there?
I can validate part of that.
We were fixing to have a run on that bank, I can assure you.
we are in the business to do loans. Yes. Now the percentage we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's going to vary on a lot of factors.
That'll vary on a lot of factors. But while you mentioned our products, we do have a wonderful a selection of different products. Since it's Teacher Appreciation Week and we do appreciate our teachers, we have a student account that I think that a lot of people may be interested in now. You have kids that are in school. Everything is geared to online banking, mobile app, direct deposit. We have all that with our student banking. There's no fee. And now that we have a location in Tuscaloosa and in Auburn, it makes it a lot easier for these students.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking with a young man just the other day who was going to Mobile to go to school at South, and he was interested in student account, and we have branches there as well. So any Trustmark location, if you're a Trustmark customer, you can do business there.
So mom and dad can walk in and deposit in Bruton, and
they can draw it out in 5 minutes in Auburn.
and
or Alabama,
it won't take 5 minutes to get it out. I can tell you. I got a real good story about that when I went off to Troy, and got handed a credit card for the first time from a James, no less, and was told that it was an emergency use on this, back before debit cards and all this kind of stuff, right?
Right.
It's an emergency use only. Well, first thing I did was went down to the local music store and bought about $1,500 worth of CDs.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, that was an emergency.
You had to have your tunes.
And let me just say it like this: by the time that that bill hit Bruton, I think it was maybe 12 hours, and Kenny James was sitting in Troy, Alabama, going, "Give me that card there." And
you had some good jam, though.
Well, that's a good jam. And let me tell you what I had to do. I had to come home on the weekends and work that money off. And let me tell you something.
Cutting firewood?
He was doing whatever, I can tell you. He wasn't real happy about that. So, and mom's in watching, and she probably can tell more of those stories than I want her to tell. So I'm going to just leave that alone. But anyway, Susan, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us
We
today.
appreciate you coming by and talking with us, and we'll make sure and post this up over the matter of fact, can you leave this with us here?
I'll be glad to leave
Yeah,
it with you.
we'll post this up over the weekend and make sure people know all about what's going on, and we like I said, thank you so much for coming by.
Well, we thank you guys for having us today.
And I want you to make sure you have a happy Mother's Day on Sunday.
That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we'll be up to get that 0% loan sometime after lunch.
Make sure it's after lunch.
Yeah, I will.
I may not be there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to reset the, we got a couple of other local celebrities coming in to sit with us here. So, DJ, you want to help? And I'll grab this other chair, and that's all we got to do.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Susan.
guys. Thank you both. Y'all do come Monday if you have time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Sean. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sit back down. I'm trying to fall out over here.
I'll help you. Thank
Good Lord.
I'm sitting.
All right, let me make sure all this is correct. Test. Okay, so now, just like I told Miss Susan, you got to kind of eat these mics because they just are what they are.
I'll tell you what, speaking of eating,
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry this morning. I missed breakfast.
I'm going to get a clean plate. It's like somebody's already used this one over here.
So, in with us now,
Anybody else want a plate?
Sure.
besides that pound cake over there, as y'all can see, and
Kim, would you like a plate?
Ken doesn't.
I'm good, thank you. I'm not. I don't. Let me tell you something. If I get started on something like that this early in the morning, I'm like done.
I want to share this. Of course, Teacher Appreciation Week along with Nurse Appreciation Week. Charmin good enough to make a pound cake. We had no knife. Now, if you're in a bad spot and you're trying to troubleshoot an issue, what better person to have around than a teacher? I want to show you what she came up with.
Yeah.
Two bag ties.
Charmin MacGyver.
Two bag ties put together.
That before,
and look at this. I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah, this is
There's only
MacGyver.
2 pieces left.
Hey,
y'all want to share that piece, and then I'll get.
Sure,
I'll
and
get
you
the,
can have the rest.
I'll get the other piece.
And I'll tell you something. There are many people that were probably glad that y'all are probably glad I didn't bake anything for you. My husband, John Robert, would say, "Yes, please don't take them anything to eat."
I did want to say this real quick because I
don't drop this.
I didn't mention it a while ago, DJ, but you'll get it. Today is Kenny's birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Yeah.
birthday!
So build a big fire and celebrate.
Yeah. So
Put on the Red Wings and go at it.
yeah. So I can guarantee you what he won't do today. He won't go splurge on himself.
You don't think he'll go up?
I'm sure he won't.
He won't get his cup from Tom Thumb and go and get a refill?
I promise you he won't. I can tell you right now. If I had to guess, he's got his E-Trade account or something pulled up right now, checking things out, make sure things hadn't went south. Let me tell you something. Charmin knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
She knows exactly. I'll tell you this. We talked about this. Charmin's mother and my mother were
best buddies,
great friends, best friends from way back. And
teenagers.
I've heard some of the craziest stories about Faye Cooper.
I've heard some about Glenda.
Yeah, we could sit here and tell those stories. But
and there were 3. Joe Luttrell's mom.
Laura. Whoa. That's
they
right.
Used to let air out of people's tires.
Yes.
They had a good time.
Yes, they were bad.
Yeah.
They were bad.
Mm-hmm.
I say bad. Yeah,
Go ahead and say bad.
They're
They're
bad. Fun things
I do. The one story that's always stuck in my mind was your mother howling like a wolf all night long for some reason. I don't know where they were at. I think they were in some sort of hotel and like they were supposed to kind of be quiet at some certain time.
Sure.
And I think that she decided she wasn't going to let that happen. And so, Faye, you're not going to tell her. You wouldn't tell her no.
I
mean, that
never.
was just how it was. But and I've known Charmin forever, and of course Sarah Ann and John Robert.
Who?
I mean,
I know Sarah Ann. I know Sarah Ann's husband.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
who?
John Robert Fountain.
Yeah, he's a celebrity too. Now,
In his own right.
I don't know if he's as big a celebrity as the two sitting here with us.
Not even close.
But he but
Kiddo. I'll tell you this. He did take care of me yesterday. I could figure out why my interior lights wouldn't come on when I opened my door. So I did leave my key turned, and I woke up and I was getting ready we had to be on school on time as teachers. We're accounted for, and my battery's dead the next morning. But I'll tell you this. Chip Peach and them took care of me. Brought me out a car, and they came and got my car, and and I'll have mine back today.
Well, that's
so
good.
I sure do appreciate that.
I'm glad to hear that. And I'm sure Clipper is more than happy to hear that.
Is.
Very well taken care of.
Thank you.
John Robert's a good man. I was teasing, by the way. I love John Robert.
No, I do too. Again, there's a guy that I've known since we all played T-ball way, way back in the day. And, all the fountains were always Dodgers.
This cake is delicious. Charmin.
It is Charmin.
I'm glad you
Freaking
enjoy
delicious.
It.
It looks delicious. Let me tell you how you know it is delicious, because half of it will be gone by the end of this show.
Well, I got my fresh yard eggs from Elizabeth. So shout out to Elizabeth
Winning.
this morning for supplying us with eggs.
I'm telling you.
Her chickens.
I'm telling you.
Is it Taylor?
I do want to mention something real quick, DJ. I went back and had the chance to watch and that show or listen to that show from Sunday night about 5 times.
That was good stuff. Tony?
And I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
I laugh harder every time that I listen to it. I laugh harder. Now, I don't know if I should be laughing at that because I truly think that he was had lost his voice.
He did.
but I can't help it. I mean, I'll tell you who it was. I finally figured it out. It was Skillet from Fred Sanford and Son. He sounded just like Skillet from Fred Sanford. And I kept trying to send her thing out. I mean, I thought he was faking. I thought it was I thought he was putting it on. But speaking of that, and I know Sarah Ann was asking a while ago about Cobra Kai, and it's obvious that she is not a Karate Kid fan.
I did, but I was thinking it was some kind of like, because of your wrestling belt, I wasn't thinking back. I thought somebody, my mind wasn't in the right mindset.
Listen,
but I did watch it because I know all about Cobra Kai now.
Yeah. Well, listen, here's the deal. That all got cranked up because, Tony is a bully.
Well, he is.
He's family.
He's a bully.
Oh, yeah, he is. I'm related to him as well, but he's a bully. He always has been.
Yeah. And he's got his minions, like one I'm looking at here right now, Butcher.
You better have the wide angle lens.
Who's in here, bullies and all this. Oh. But I tell you what, he sure didn't mind calling Tanya out Sunday. He said, "Who is this, Tanya?" And Burnham, what'd he do, DJ? What he said? He said,
he wanted some sympathy and some compassion.
He said,
"Shut up, laughing." I thought I'd get a little compassion and sympathy from y'all.
Isn't it fun to laugh at him?
Oh man, that was crazy. I mean, that was just hilarious. But so getting back to it's been Teacher Appreciation Week. I
love our new set, by the way.
Hey,
I mean, you just never know.
You never know what you're going to
It's awesome, isn't it?
It's nice out there.
It's a great.
Isn't it awesome?
This happened. It's Friday morning.
Isn't it awesome?
My goodness,
It's amazing. It's amazing.
That window.
I mean, we have seen.
I've seen
retail
more this
sales are up in the area.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 crackheads walk by. I saw a dude on a bicycle at 7:44 this morning that I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought he was gonna hit that truck out there. I think he was. I think would that be a like bicycling BUI? That's a boat, but anyway,
They'll have to pry this pound cake out of my dead hand. I can tell you that.
Well, I can tell you right now, some of the characters that have come by here, I think would probably do that.
Especially if they're not having like a breakfast buffet at the hotel.
Yeah.
Look here. Here's John Robert chiming in about somebody needing to get to work.
Oh well, sir.
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
I thought we were going to get through this without having a squabble.
Why isn't he working?
Are you at work? Yeah, Sharman's
He's not used to that.
Sharman, you'll love this. And I'm going to tell one of my favorite John Robert stories. Last year, my daughter was lucky enough to be on his softball team. He and Chris Smith had the team, got into the all-star play, and things just weren't happening. We were playing hard, doing all we could, but we were to put it in simple terms, we were floundering as a team. Sarah Ann comes in, joins the staff, takes over the practices, runs the dugout, lines us up. We go straight to the state tournament.
See?
Sarah Ann, turn that ship around like that.
She does have redeeming qualities.
We took off.
Yeah, that's part of being a teacher. You know how to handle children.
That's right. That's right. I like that. Are you going to eat the rest of your cake?
You can have it if you like.
So-
I really don't need it.
I'll have some water here if you
Oh,
want to.
But I thought I saw you told me it was a community and you just kind of chugged it.
It's good, but it's community.
Okay.
That's fine.
Sharman and I brought our own. We share that one. But
Are you?
Okay.
It's okay.
Are you?
You can have my plate.
I think.
Do you want my plate too?
Yes. Now my husband says I was dugout mom. I was much more than that.
Dugout mom.
Is
John
always
That's
much
just
more than that.
It's much more than that.
Dugout mom.
Dugout
I
mom.
didn't know when I
Wow.
played ball that didn't exist, but it is it really is an important role for those.
Oh, my
girls
gracious.
or boys or whatever they do that for. Thank you.
Wow. Well, so speaking of teacher, how much was y'all's bonus check this week for being appreciated so much?
Oh my gosh, I can't tell it out loud.
Oh, way too much. But I will tell you this: we have at Potter McCall, we have always had a wonderful PTO that supports our school. And every day this week, they have done something for us. And
Yes, so
then they
much
also,
food.
this is
Beautiful cookies from the Flower Sack Bakery.
Yes,
they were
which
so
is
pretty.
Which I'm proud to say that's Lindsay Fountain, which is my niece.
Yeah.
And she's opened up right beside Covenant Hospice.
Yeah, that's the new bakery.
the
Yes,
family
yes.
And guess what's
yes.
right down the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Trustmark Bank.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's
Okay,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
One-stop shop.
That's
Get you a
exactly
cookie,
right.
All the way down.
Go to the bank.
John,
Yeah.
I was not just in charge of water. Thank you.
Hey, Sherry Hart said that dugout mom is an important role.
It
Very.
definitely is.
Cousin
Thank you,
Sherry. That's right.
Let's talk about Pollard McCall for a second as a school system.
Retro, good morning.
So many great schools in our area. We've talked about we
Where's
all
Aunt
live in the
Doris?
greatest community in the world, and we understand what our community
Tiffany
encompasses.
White?
Bloomington, Atmore, Bruton, East Bruton, Evergreen, Excel, Uriah. Our area is one big community, and a big part of that are the school systems we have in place that have such great teachers and kids that are willing to go in and learn. McCall has always been one of the great school systems, always one of the great school systems. I think you may have mentioned earlier how long that school has been opened.
It was built in 1922, and it was a merge from the Pollard School and the McCall School when small communities had schools, and they began to merge them. And Pollard, small town of Pollard, which used to be the county seat, they merged and became Pollard McCall, and they moved to McCall because it was a newer school.
Well, I can tell you that when I was coming through, when the McCall goes through eighth grade,
It went through ninth when
we were
right,
there.
right. And then those kids either transition. Most of them, I think, probably go to Flomaton. We certainly had some that came to Miller.
do,
Had some
yeah,
great
still
friends that
do.
came to Miller.
Always do.
And I never met a kid that came through the McCall school system that didn't just fit academically, socially, everything. I mean, just great people that made up, and I think it speaks volumes about the community
you.
and about
Thank
the
you very
structure in place
much.
there as a school system. Y'all put out great kids.
And this
We
is
do.
what I like about it too. On my way to work this morning, on my way to work this morning, I had my coffee and was driving, and I thought, I don't know if I had my glasses on. What I saw was a very large dog in the road. So before school this morning, I had to pull over and run cows back into a fence before school.
So you mean to tell
So,
me
yeah,
you've
with my
run-
coffee, go
you've
get
made a pound cake, you've run cows,
run cows.
and you've done a podcast?
Yes, all
You're
in one
amazing.
day.
And she probably missed chickens while she was pulling in the parking lot.
Yeah, there's chickens in our yard every morning. We have
And
a
we
rooster.
have-
he
And at
crows.
the school.
He crows. I'll send it to you. When,
Listen,
We have 3 cats at the school, too.
Yeah.
so Tanya has come in here and said, thank you for taking up for me a little bit. They won't be laughing at me after
I have
Saturday.
been waiting for someone to call me Little Bit for a long. I love you, Tony. How sweet.
Hey,
That
that's
was my
I love to
nickname
be
when I
called
was
Little
little,
that's
too.
that is Tanya. Okay,
That is Tony.
that's Tanya.
Oh my gracious!
Thank you, Chris Hall. And thank you for a shout out for my dad.
Look here. I want to put something out here too, because I've been watching a lot of these Cobra Kai's take credit for some of these technical difficulties that we've had. Let me assure everyone of the listening audience and the viewing audience and whatever other audience that there is, there isn't a Cobra Kai in this area that's had anything to do with the technical difficulties that we've had. The only technical difficulties that Cobra Kai's had anything to do with was,
I thought I'd get a little compassion and sympathy from y'all.
now that is a technical difficulty, but it ain't got anything to do with Bossman Productions. Let me just say that, number one. Number two, you better watch out, Butcher, because you never know when you're going to answer the phone and when you're going to get put where you need to get put. So think about that.
To a cute folk.
'Cause, he the other night, DJ, he was, he didn't know we were live. That's what he told me.
Who's that?
Butch. He didn't know we were
I don't
live.
think he did at first.
I don't care. See, that was the best part about it.
Yeah.
We hadn't started it. We've got a segment coming. We hadn't started it yet. But we've got a segment coming that's all about phone calls. Oh, yeah.
That's going to be the most fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Whitney.
We're getting ready for another Name That Tune episode coming up as well.
Ooh, I used to love
Me
that
too.
show.
I'm
Also,
the best.
this afternoon, we're going to put out the teacher and nurse that was nominated on the Post. And we had like
A lot.
There's
like
a lot of great teachers.
400 maybe posts on that thing. So, we're going to put out that. The only reason we hadn't is for some reason, I stuck all that in this morning, and Facebook is, Facebook's going through a bunch of changes right now, and you got to go around a different route to do it, to get all those people's names because of this privacy issue. So, anyhow, we'll have that name this afternoon. But so as being a teacher, would you want to do anything else?
No. I was in college one time, and I had a teacher, an instructor that said, it was in a big auditorium, and he said, raise your hand if you can do anything else. And I was like,
I was good at being a student. I did it for a long time.
And he said, so a lot of people kind of raised their hand. And I made good grades. And I thought, but that I didn't want to do anything.
Yes, it is, Hazel.
It's so interesting. This kind of like a classroom, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's fun. And some people, he said, if you can do anything else but teach, then get out. He said, I'm not talking about you're academically or you're smart enough. He said, if it's not your passion, you need to go. And I really believe that. I believe if it's not your passion and that's not what you don't want to do, then you don't need to go into teaching. Because I tell students that I teach, I do a class for our 8th graders, and I tell them that when you are choosing careers and things like that you need to remember that you want to wake up and feel like you're not going to work. Feel like you're going to do something that you enjoy doing every day. And I truly feel like that at Pollard McCall. And I think our whole faculty, we're like a family, and that's very, very important. And I just want to say, I know that you mentioned that, Ms. Susan, that it was a Military Appreciation Month. It's also Brain Cancer Awareness Month.
Go Gray in May.
And it's Go Gray in May. And we have a former Pollard McCall Junior High School student, Kelsey Padgett, and her mom, Tracy Padgett, that are headed back from Birmingham, and she's battling brain cancer. And so just remember, Go Gray in May.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's I like that. What do you call that? A slogan? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Go Gray in May. Brain Cancer Awareness Month. We need, I can tell you this, how old is
She was 12 when she was first diagnosed, and she was 16 now.
Yeah, she's 16.
I got a Pollard McCall question. Several years ago, and the school has always been known for having great school spirit. I mean, back when I was in junior high, we'd always play them in basketball or whatnot, and you'd be over there and you'd see the community come out and you'd see the student body, everybody have a good time. When my son was playing, my son, like Gracie, is graduating this year. And of course, you're flooded with memories and thinking about how quick it went by. And I remember in middle school basketball, we were playing McCall, and it was a very competitive game, back and forth. It got tight down there towards the end. And there was a call on the court that the McCall fan base did not agree with.
Uh-oh.
And there was a lady, a little blonde-headed lady.
It me.
She was a cheerleader sponsor.
It wasn't me.
And she showed up on the court and was arguing the call.
I bet it was Sarah Ann. I bet $1 million.
I know it was.
Who were they playing?
They were playing us.
Playing Miller.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were playing Bruton Middle School, and I look out.
Was Joey Weaver referenced?
What was great about it is it'd been raining during the day, and she had on some little rubber boots and her blue jeans, and she'd been working her cheerleaders, and they'd been cheering their guts. Sarah Ann's on the court.
So they're regulating.
I'll tell you who it was. It was Judge Brock, who's the official.
Don't say anything.
John Roberts says she's been kicked out of many games.
But the one
I love the spirit. I love the passion. I think it was 8th grade night. I think everybody was getting recognized, and y'all won the game, by the way. I think you turned it. Y'all won the game.
I do have to say, in our family, we're very competitive, whether it is.
No.
I'm not sure
No.
competitive is a good word.
And my husband says I've been kicked out of many games. I've never
been asked to leave.
The games that I've coached,
asked to leave.
which is I just coached volleyball because I do not have the temperament to coach basketball. Because I would in our county as a teacher, if you're fine, like if you get kicked out, you're required to pay for that out of your own pocketbook. And as a teacher, I can't afford that, so I coach volleyball.
Well, what I took away from that was I think Keith Nall, was coaching the team this year, possibly.
Oh yeah.
I think back in that day he was. Well, anyway,
he still is.
We were all watching in amazement that you were. as passionate and competitive as you were. But the McCall people chose the opportunity to go to the concession stand because obviously they had seen it before. It was not like
It was going to take a little while.
Probably.
Oh, that's just Sarah.
Yeah, they know.
No biggie.
I loved it. I like the fire.
John, we're not
what
going to
they
talk
call
about we have our Pee Wee program,
high-spirited.
Buck Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High-spirited. This is a good word.
High spirited.
We have a great Pee Wee.
I take it. I see Renee Johnson in with us. One of the former students there, Rose Morgan, just signed a volleyball scholarship with Judson.
Yes,
So we're happy for Rose and look
her
forward.
mom
Our
went to
mom went to
Judson.
Judson.
Look forward to following her and sharing her good times up there. Yeah, congratulations to Rose.
And one thing I want to say is that they started a few years ago was the two principals from Flomaton and McCall. They do a walkthrough. I don't know if they do that at T.R. Miller or Neal. I'm not real sure about high school, but they let the seniors go walk through the elementary halls of where they first started school.
Cool.
And they did that about 3 years ago. They started letting the seniors who graduate or finished, they went to elementary school at Paul McCall come and do a walkthrough.
And they present
Coach
the
Hammond did
kindergartners
that.
with a book.
Yes, Coach Hammond and Mr. Powell, our new principal, our principal, it's not new anymore, got together and allowed that to happen. And that happened yesterday. And they present our kindergartners with a book.
Oh, wow. That's
and
cool.
they sing the
That's
alma
cool.
mater.
The places you'll go.
Yeah.
So they get to go give every kindergartner. So they get to see.
I think they did that at Neal.
I think they did it.
I think
they did.
I thought they did it at Neal too.
Because I remember, I'll tell them what. Jessica had to turn around and come back home this morning because she forgot to put earrings in. And said that she was going to be taking pictures today.
Yes,
so
she can't go without earrings.
yeah, so I assumed that she meant that was why.
Probably so.
Yeah. So
I saw some pictures of kids with their.
I think that's neat. I mean, I really do. Now I'm going to tell you something.
Just give the kids.
And I think DJ will attest to this. Probably a lot of the teachers we had when we were in elementary school, they wouldn't have wanted to see us walk back through the elementary
they would
school.
have thrown a party.
I mean,
when they see you.
Maybe a party, something. I don't know, but I don't know how good. I don't know if they'd have signed many books I had. How about you, DJ?
I think Miss Mitchell would have.
Wait, absolutely, yes, but you know. I don't know how many more. Miss McKenzie, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more. Miss Taylor, Miss Young, I loved her.
Yeah. I never had her, but she was a good teacher. Yeah.
I loved her. And Miss Jackson.
Oh yeah. Miss Virginia Jackson.
Oh man, I was in love with her. That was like my, when you're.
I have a lot of kids in love with me, too.
I
But listen, I think. But is it because of that competitive fire? Is that what
it may be? They may see that, but I just don't know. I kind of thought it might be my look.
No, I don't. I'm saying a hard no on that one.
Okay. Hey, we also had, you mentioned Rose Morgan signed a scholarship. She first started playing volleyball with when I coached her at Pollard McCall. So that was made me feel really well. And she went on to a great program at Flomaton. And we also had a girl that graduated from McCall, one of Gracie's good friends, Danielle Sager, that signed a basketball scholarship, right?
With Faulkner.
Yeah. Danielle Sager.
Yeah, we
So
recognized
shout
her
out to
last
Danielle.
week.
Yeah, we was going to say we talked about her last week.
Yeah,
yes,
she's a good player.
Yes.
I remember
She's
watching
precious.
her. Yeah.
Both of those
Sweet.
girls
Both
are just
those
sweet girls. And I wanted to mention too the other day when Gracie hit the home run.
Yeah, we recognized her also.
Yeah.
We did.
I just
we
thought,
did.
since you said good things about us, all those
Yes.
girls went by and congratulated her from Miller.
Yeah.
They were so
Very
sweet.
sweet.
And Gracie was sad because she lost, but we were just excited that she got to go out like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
She
the
had a big
girls
day.
were so sweet to her.
Yeah.
Very.
So sweet. So
Yeah, that
they
was
were very nice too.
we talked about that.
Yeah, I heard it. I
tell
was
you,
excited.
I saw the some of the pictures from that tournament and some of the team pictures and whatnot, and you could pick out the seniors because their eye black had washed. I mean,
Yes.
that was kind of
it.
symbolic. I mean, everybody who's been there understands that feeling. If you haven't,
Exactly.
you can't. But that's tough. I mean, they're going to got great
so
things in front of them, but that's a end of a chapter, and it's a tough one to work through. But they certainly will. They're not the first ones to do it. But that was a cool picture. I like that picture.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
So a while ago, and I'm not even going to get into this story, but I'm going to pick at Sarah Ann a little bit. A while ago, when you were talking about the McCall and Miller game, I thought you might have been talking about Fulmerton and Neal or something, and I didn't know and probably, and I'm not
It
going.
wouldn't have mattered probably what school.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Misunderstandings happen.
I just
Things get miscommunicated.
I've heard a story or two about Sarah Ann from back in those days.
She's
But
competitive.
Crazy.
I think one of them might have cleared the bleachers.
Where's that at? Where was it?
I'm not saying another word.
A student?
But I was not at fault at that.
I didn't know. I didn't say that. Now I didn't say that.
I
just
turned my back around and got shoved. But if I got shoved, then there's going to be,
A shove back.
well, maybe not a shove, maybe something kind of worse.
Hey.
And
Hey, I tell you what it was. It was a windmill. She come around and windmilled is what she did. And listen, I'm not. We ain't got to keep going with it. I'm just saying, did the bleachers clear or not?
They did, but we had an unbiased team watching because our boys were playing away, and so the other team was not the same boys team that was about to play.
Did they help?
Well, nothing really happened.
Was Judge Brock the official?
No. I didn't really know
Was Joey
him.
Weaver?
Probably. No, I'm just kidding, Joey.
We need to get Joey on here one day and
that would
see how many people would get on here and just
What
go.
was Renee asking about the bite? Was that when she bit the principal in
No,
kindergarten?
I didn't.
What?
Oh, thank you, Sherman.
Yeah,
She didn't like school.
Yeah,
I just
I was
wanted
gonna
to
say
be my mom and daddy.
Yeah.
She wanted to go home, so she bit the principal.
No,
Didn't
I
you
meant
say-
the kindergarten teacher.
I've heard that. I wasn't gonna bring up a story. I've heard. I actually I heard that story as
What was his
well.
name?
Okay, there was Mr. Norwood was the
Norwood.
principal.
Yes,
and
Mr.
then,
Norwood.
Yes.
You
And
bit
then,
him.
no,
She
I
had
was
a
sitting in the
screaming
classroom
fit.
and I knew that my brother Hugh was just down the hall in third grade. And all I wanted to be was with my daddy at home farming and riding in the truck. And I thought, I'm just going to get up out of this and I'm going to run down there and I'm going to open that door and I'm going to get him and he's going to get me home. And about the time my little old kindergarten hand touched that doorknob, my kindergarten teacher grabbed my hand and was walking me back to the classroom. And all I could think was, how can I get her to let go of my hand?
The bulldog
And so
method.
I just bit her.
Will you say hands?
Winning.
one more time?
Hand,
I love
Winning.
hand.
2
hand,
syllables.
hand.
Hand.
Well, I already told you all that we are teachers and that we are from the South.
Ain't we?
So
Hey.
ain't we?
Ain't we?
Hey,
We are.
let me tell you what happened. She turned around when she got shoved in the back, and the first thing out of her mouth was,
Catch me outside. How about that?
Is that where that came from?
"That's exactly where it came from." And she inspired 5 generations. I'm telling you.
No.
How about that?
I mean, I that's just what I heard. So
I will tell you this: the whole football team was mad because they put us on probation for the following year, so they couldn't go to.
Because of you?
Yes, because
because of her.
I don't remember
Have
this.
you been bitten as a teacher?
no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was
wouldn't
at that point in time. I was
It's
like,
against the law now.
I was scared. I was scared of Sarah Ann White. I mean, I was like, man, you don't want to fool with her because
No.
she will knock your teeth out of your head.
Well, okay.
John Robert, if you're still in here, how many times have you been domestically abused at home?
Oh,
She said,
John-
he said Neil too. Did
Yeah.
you get kicked out of Neil too?
Neil was put on probation too.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah. Both teams were. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I'm just having fun with that because we're talking about being competitive and being all this
and
stuff.
actually, the people that it occurred with, we are very friendly now. I mean, we were kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's been golly. What's that been? That's been that's been 20
years now.
No, but it's been a long
Just a few.
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of water under the bridge since
But
then.
nobody's
yes.
forgotten about it.
No.
No.
I still have people say, "Do you remember such and such?" And I'm like,
Yeah, and my mother-in-law just reminded, I don't really want to discuss biting people because I was known to bite somebody when I was a kid.
Yes.
Like bad.
Yes.
I mean, if I didn't get something I wanted, I'd just turn around and just start like taking a bite out of crime.
I remember seeing y'all at the dollar store, Family Dollar Store, and you telling Glenda, get me some gum. I remember that you called your mom Glenda.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you where that come from. But let me tell you where that come from. They come from the Wizard of Oz, because of Glenda. And that's where that came from.
Yeah.
Because I was so scared to death of the bad witch. And so I was like, well, my mother's named Glenda, so she's got to be great. So that's what I called her.
That's great.
Yeah.
Glenda. I remember that.
Good stuff.
Sorry.
I love the wisdom that some of our young people show. Gracie O'Bannon, I think, just had a great post. Biting doesn't solve problems.
Absolutely. I would hate to be
Winning.
right there. It does. It really does. And so I would
Sherry Hart
I
can-
very
you know
much
that's
discourage
correct,
it
too.
Because I was made to go right back to kindergarten, and I finished. Now Miss O'Bannon's sibling, who's
Amy.
was kindergarten dropout, but
She
she
quit
was one of
school.
my best friends in
At
kindergarten.
6?
She
At
did.
5.
But
At
she's
5.
the only one of the Coopers that has 2 degrees. So she was the smartest, but she did quit kindergarten.
I was going to say, I thought she was like brilliant.
She's she's not brilliant. But
No, Amy's not brilliant.
No.
Amy, if you're watching, sorry. I love you. You're
I'm
best
kidding.
friend.
She's
Okay.
smart, but she quit
Okay, let
kindergarten.
me rephrase. Book smart.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Isn't it me?
Yeah. Shawty helps me a lot. So
I think that's me. I would say.
Are you
Yeah,
asking or
Oldest,
telling?
Listen,
smartest.
I think we ought to have the whole Cooper family in here, and let's discuss that because
That'd be a great idea.
This county couldn't handle it.
I tell you what, that'd be like getting the Fountains in here and having the same
We'll
discussion.
get the James in here to fight. We'll get the Whites in to bite. And we'll get the Coopers in. And we'll sit around
Listen,
and laugh, have a big
yeah.
time.
The Jameses won't fight unless it's Christmas.
We got cinder block walls.
Yeah.
The Jameses won't fight unless it's Christmas. Okay, so as long as it's around Christmas time, we ready, man. You let us know. We'll be here.
I'll get this pound cake, go sit in the corner, and I'll just watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be a good time.
You
yeah,
would want to join.
Be a good
in.
show.
Did
For
you
sure.
know you'd want to join?
Might
in?
as well win in Rome.
That's
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
Lose the Persians.
That's right. Does the Romans do?
Yeah, I mean, so I think that I don't know if you could put all the Fountains, the Jameses, and the Coopers in here.
No,
Too many.
I don't think you could.
just the Cooper clan. I bought the house I grew up in, so I moved back out there, same place, and so we have Thanksgivings and Christmases at my house.
That's a country
And there's
song.
a lot of bodies back in
That's
there.
right, Connie.
I'll write one for y'all.
That is, hey, listen,
could.
that is a country song. I like that. Well, we need to DJ wants to learn how to play guitar. He said, Ken, I don't
So
want to know,
do
but just
I.
one chord. I want to be able to
I'll
strum
do
one
banjo.
chord.
I'll do the banjo.
do
So,
it.
so I'll bring the guitar and we'll come up with a country song. You gonna write it?
Well, I can write it.
Okay.
And Jessica had to have been in the band because she was majorette, and she was one of my helpers when I was the majorette. So I played the flute. And I played the drum. So what did she play? Do you know?
I think she played the trumpet.
I played the trumpet.
and
See? We got a
French horn,
band.
Here we
maybe.
go.
I can
It's
sing a
shaping
little
up.
bit.
And I-
can
Shaping
sing.
up.
My daddy used to be in a band called
It's
the Twin
shaping-
Cuts.
Yeah.
You can get the drums.
Yeah, we can cover some Nashville brass.
Next thing I know, I'm gonna be getting fired in from Michael Bell about what was it that night at the Battle of Murder Creek? Remember he was firing in on me about something.
yeah.
I wish I had that queued up right now with DJ and Burnham in there dancing to that doggone when Neil's band cut down on it. You know that little dance part of it.
Yes.
I got DJ and Burnham on film. I'm talking about like
Tearing
cutting
it
it
up.
up.
Hey, I was just
Yeah. I'm talking about they in there hitting it up.
You can't help it.
DJ says, I will tell you something. That was fun. Burnham said, yeah, he said, that's the most cardiovascular activity you've had in the last 6 years or something. So that
lead
was
vocalist. I wouldn't say singing, John Robert, vocalist.
We
I have a very
asked
unique-
John just
Yeah.
to stand there and cheer us on.
That's right.
I mean, he's not really much
He
of
could
a
be our
singer.
roadie.
That's right. Josh's
roadie.
birthday. The Jameses won't fight.
That's the name of the song.
Yeah.
The name
Well,
of the country song.
I think we need to set it to Kenny Rogers, the coward of the county. That needs to be the
That might be great,
the music
yeah.
to it.
Here we go. It's coming together. Wheezy said that she and Glenda will be the dancers.
That's awesome.
Hey, I love that.
Yeah.
Will y'all wear little tiny sequin cocktail dresses? And
I bet Glenda would.
will y'all put a big Harley up on room 321 with Coy?
The wobble. That's what it was. The Neil band played the wobble.
Hey, that was
It was
awesome.
hitting. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Could
Yeah.
you do a little rendition of it? Like,
If he queued up the music, it just happens. My body just reacts.
It just reacts.
Some people
It's,
can't
it's,
help
an,
it.
yeah, it's an involuntary.
Yeah, Miss
It's kinda
Pam
like-
Weaver was like that when I worked at Weaver's. She said I can't help it.
Yeah, I can't either.
And one leg would just have to move around the.
like at Paul McCall Middle School dances. It
She
just
taught me
kinda
not to be
happens.
shy of
Yeah.
that.
The music
If you
starts
gotta
going.
move,
Yeah.
you
They
move.
get the groove.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it was. That was a big time. I haven't seen many bands do that kind of thing, so I was like,
excited.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, really, it was. Now, don't get me wrong. When Tuskegee came to town a couple of years ago for Dixieland, now they showed out up there.
Oh yes,
they showed out.
Yes,
I mean that was good. It really was, and that place was packed too. I wish they. I don't. Do they still? I don't think they had it last year.
I don't know if I saw it here last year, but I came the year before, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they had it last year. So, yeah, we got people talking about doing this and doing that, and we'll get DJ up doing the wobble. I don't even know what the wobble is.
With you.
It's say wobble,
it's
baby,
the music.
Wobble, baby.
We're on. It would just happen. I mean, it's not.
You
I mean,
just go with
it just happens.
To the wobble.
The prep.
I mean,
Like
the whip,
I'm known to dance
it
at
doesn't matter.
our middle school dances. That's why you get the kids going. They like to
Yeah.
see teachers interact
Yeah.
with them and kind of let their hair down a little bit and lets them realize that you're human too. You're realistic. You're not untouchable. And one thing
Or
we're
unbiteable.
or unbiteable.
Biteable.
Or you might be biteable.
I use music in my classroom. We listen every day.
Have you ever been bit by a student?
I have not been bitten by a student ever.
I told you I think that they outlawed it now.
It's against the law.
they outlawed biting.
Your teacher.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just playing. I don't know for sure, but
Did you find the wobble?
That
Maybe
sounds
a
good.
salt
Well, I'm
or
looking.
something.
I'm looking to
It'll
see.
be on the Boss Radio at some time today.
I'm looking to see if I can find something.
Wobble, baby. Wobble,
just-
baby. Doesn't it say
yeah,
wobble,
yes.
baby?
If you just go to, I don't really know. What
Yeah, the
it
only
said.
problem is we liable to cue that up and play it. Next thing you know, it's liable to be.
I might cut a rug.
Who knows what liable to be said?
And the folks that walk around the perimeter, they could be in here as well.
Yeah, yeah,
They can start it up for us, I'm sure.
yeah. That
It started early.
We're all leaving together, by the way. When the show's over with, we're leaving in a pack, a wolf pack,
Like a wolf pack.
Yeah, wolf pack.
Yeah, we're not leaving individually. Safety in numbers.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if we can. Can y'all hear this? I know you can, DJ, but
I can't.
I haven't heard anything yet.
yeah, but I know people out there watching can hear it.
How many years have y'all been teaching?
I stayed home when Gracie, when Joseph was born for a few years. She's 18, so I've been teaching for 15, but some are private school. Because I
Okay.
taught at EA
Yeah,
for a few years, and I loved it, but I came back home. I came back to Neal and then to McCall, but I was at Flemington first.
Okay.
So I've been everywhere. I've taught kids everywhere.
My first year was at Jefferson Davis Community College, Coastal Community now.
Really?
Yes, I taught developmental English and ran a computer lab.
Is the wobble on?
It's on.
Back it up. I hear it. Do it.
I don't know how to do that.
I bet you do.
In secret, and a lot of them tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
So I did go. I taught. That was my first year. I've taught so a total of 19, and then after that I realized my love was for what my major was middle school, and
I like middle
which
school
is
too.
wild. But I guess if I bite teachers, I'm kind of wild.
What age groups have you enjoyed?
So
I like middle school too. I've taught elementary at McCall, so I enjoy them too. But I always said middle school's kind of like Brer Rabbit in the Briar Patch.
Yeah.
Don't put me there. Don't put me there. And then I was afraid when Mr. Hadaway called me to come to Neal. I taught 6th grade, and they were bigger than me.
Yeah.
Those kids are bigger than me, so I was very nervous. And they're bigger than me in 3rd grade too. Most of the time, sometimes taller than me. But anyway, when I went, hold on, my phone's ringing. But anyway, what was I saying?
that it's not being put in a Brer
Sorry.
Patch.
Yeah, Brer Rabbit and Briar Patch.
Yeah.
I really love it. I
Something,
love
something
middle
about
school
your
kids.
kid. Yeah.
Something about kids.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of that, when is the middle school? I say middle school dance. When is Wild at Heart? Is that this weekend?
Yes,
It
it
is.
is.
We announced it today at our on our morning announcement.
Hold on,
It's,
I have a text. I can tell you.
It's something till 5 to 9.
Yeah. Glow in the dark.
I got a text from Sarju, and it says middle school grades 5 through 8 tomorrow night from 6 to 9 at the Ritz.
That'd be a good time.
I think it's till 9.
From 6 to 9.
I heard special guest was going to be the 2 Live Crew. Is there anything to that?
No.
What?
Is it just for middle school?
What's the
Winning.
Wait a minute. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Mark, don't be telling me all my dance moves.
Yeah. I hadn't heard that.
They're secret.
I just heard it was going to be glow in the dark.
Yeah.
So I guess that means they're going to have a bunch of black lights set up or what have you. So I don't know how you glow in the dark. Maybe put fluorescent.
Well, you have to put on white, but they'll have a black light.
But here's the problem with that. Like
Yeah.
anybody that has any fake teeth or anything, like things going on when you go in there and smile,
No,
guess
not
what?
good.
You gonna have like real and then like a
Not.
chiclet and then like real and then two chiclets. You know, like even though you got teeth there, those black lights are gonna show that they're not real.
But those kids don't have to worry about that. Just the older people say, we don't have to
Well, I mean, maybe I just know that, you know, I mean,
play sports.
I
Some
tell you
people
this is
win.
what
I tell you
they
where I
do
discovered
for
that was Nighttown.
They have a cure for that for middle school now. They make these mouthpieces that glow in the dark.
Yeah, little lights.
Yeah,
So they have-
it's like it looks like a football. Those things you wear in football.
They didn't have that in
Yeah,
1988.
Mouthpieces, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. But they
Yeah.
glow
What year
in
did
the
you
dark and they
graduate?
have lights.
92.
Okay.
They didn't have that in 88, 90. You know, they didn't sell those at the Steamboat Landing or the Blue Horizon or Cash's Faux Pas.
Yeah.
They didn't have any of that stuff. So, Elisa Hart says that you could cut a rug back then, Charmin.
Hey, you better know.
She
I
could.
still can.
I think there's a story, maybe a story there, something about the Backstreet Boys or something, maybe.
Oh, no, New Kids on the Block.
New Kids on the Block.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Joey
Oh my
winked at
God!
me.
Let's please.
Joey, no,
I have to hear that.
Joey,
Oh my Lord!
He came and
Charmin.
winked at me.
Charmin.
We went to see the New Kids on the Block.
Did you pass out when you did?
I almost did. I
touched
touched
him.
my heart.
He got
Joey
my hand.
McIntyre came and he was singing that real "Please Don't Go Girl" to me, just to me.
I don't even know what that
Please
is.
don't
He picks-
go, girl.
Sarah Ann.
Yeah. It would
He picks me out of the crowd.
Yeah. Did you just
Elisa Finley.
That is fantastic.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah, it was good.
That's the Southern version of the New
It
Girls
is.
on the Block.
Yes.
Singing it just to you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I could have backup singers. I could have, we could be a duet, probably.
I've never heard duet as a 3-syllable word till just now.
Duet.
We do
I
talk
like
like
it.
that from
Duet.
out there.
Hey, I love that.
Listen, y'all, like, Charmin talks way more country than me. I think.
There's nothing wrong with a Southern accent.
Thank you. And you know, gentlemen like that.
They sure do.
Up north, they do.
They made fun of me in New York City though.
I know.
What?
Oh, they made fun
Just
of
to
you?
order, like I said, I wanted a hot dog.
Maybe a sweet tea, and they didn't know what
And
you're
he
talking
went
about.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you say that
Sweet tea.
again? They loved it though.
That happened to me in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We were checking out at, I guess, the equivalent of what you would call like Walmart, or I don't know what they call it up there.
With my travel parameters, it's never happened to me.
Well, it has me. And let me tell you what I said to him. You know, that woman kept looking at me and kind of, you know, laughing. And she said, well, you're not from around here, are you? I said, hey, let me tell you something, lady. If you think I sound funny to you, you ought to hear how you sound to me.
It's true.
I said, so,
I'm going to use
you
that
know,
line, Ken.
slow down a little bit, okay? Slow your roll. Next thing you need to do is go put on some makeup. Okay? I mean,
Well,
people, I don't mean that ugly. I just say like people up there, it's 40 degrees. They got shorts and t-shirts on, and like they don't have tans. Okay. And I mean,
we're not used to that either.
no. And, you know, down here, you know, 40
But we're
degrees, we
taught
got
not to
on,
say
you know,
it, yeah.
windbreak. I mean, like we got on jackets. It's not up there. Like cold to them is like 20 degrees, below, you know, that kind of thing. 40 and 50, man, they got shorts and t-shirts on. I'm not joking. That's why you see these crazy people down at the beach in like January and February, waded out in the Gulf, and you're scratching your head. And you got to realize, well, they're from up north. And the reason, you know, that all that stuff up there is froze. So,
Yeah.
you know,
It's warm to them.
it is.
And we're taught in the South, if we see it, and I try to tell Gracie, I think Facebook has changed this. If you see it and it's wrong, you don't have to tell them. Your hair looks bad, or you sound funny, or you know,
Yeah.
for whatever
Yeah.
reason, you don't have to say it. That's the one thing
They
I
get
try to
very
teach my
brave
students.
on that, though, because on Facebook and things like that, I found on social media, especially with students and with my class that I teach at Paul McCall, I try to tell them, you know, just because they can't see you doesn't mean you have to say it like you were saying, Charmin.
Don't tell them.
They get brave.
If they look funny, don't tell them, because you might look funny.
But bullying is not good.
No.
Bullying is not
One of
good.
JT's twins, Riley, is on the program with us this morning, and he wants to know, is that really his daddy on the saying the okie dokie on the soundbite?
Yes, it is.
And Riley had a huge hit the other day in our Little League baseball game. He beat us. He had the winning hit. I was proud for
Wow,
him.
that's
Disappointed
awesome.
we lost. We had a big
Way
hit.
to go, Riley.
Yes.
Good job, Riley.
That is JT. That is the one and only doing that. I talking about that concert y'all were supposed on the front row?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
My dad
So
was good at that.
did they throw any like sweaty rags down there to y'all?
They didn't do
Not
that.
back then.
They were brand new.
Would you have
We were in
passed out if they had 'em?
Pensacola
What
at
grade?
some
I might would have
auditorium.
grabbed it and jumped on stage
Cordova
with
Mall?
him if I'd have got past the
it was-
officer.
So it would have been like Elvis,
Shut up.
where
It's
Elvis,
not.
Elvis would toss out like scarves and like the first 10 rows of women just fall out.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that.
They were right outside the food court at the Cordova Mall.
it wasn't that.
Hey,
The
Bayfront
Hey.
auditorium.
They call it Bayfront
It was the
Auditorium.
Bayfront.
you know what's crazy about you
We
saying
call
that
it the
though?
Civic Center,
You know what's crazy about-
I'm sure you've been there to many concerts.
Do you-
Yeah,
It was
Boston,
the Civic Center.
Boston, Journey, Def Leppard.
Now you know
I saw
where they
Def
Bon
Leppard.
Jovi.
Now you know
I
where
saw
they
Def
perform.
Leppard.
I never
They
went-
perform at little
Do-
bitty places now. I
saw
do
Bon
love
Jovi.
Journey.
Listen,
and all those
do you
places.
remember,
The Nashville Brass.
DJ, do you remember when Garth Brooks was at the old Kmart for the second Harvest Jam?
Yes.
And there 8 people showed up to get his autograph?
yes.
I remember Boz, Josh Brown, asked him this. He walked up to him. He said, you got something you want to sign? And Boz reached up there and flipped his cowboy hat off his head. That's no joke. And like about 3 months later,
Shameless.
Much Too Young to Feel This Old came
Yes,
out,
yes,
and
yes.
then it was off to the races. And you know that Harvest Jam flopped. The second one flopped.
Sausage.
And I don't know how it could flop with all the people that was there because they had some big names, but they weren't big
Austin
then.
Idol come
Oh,
with those yellow
Yeah.
things they wore?
Austin Idol's been around.
Austin Idol.
Austin Idol's the
brought me a
man.
sign.
yeah.
Yeah, he brought it said Too Charming from Austin Idol, so I still have
Austin
that.
Idol's the Las Vegas. What was the
The $1
Yeah,
million
they're
leg lock.
white hair.
he had the Las
Super
Vegas leg lock.
Yeah.
He was the American heartthrob.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's right. If Rob
He had
Moore's
that
watching, he'll
wrestling
fix
belt
it.
over his
Yeah.
and had on yellow speedo.
He didn't wear that one, did he?
That might have been
I mean,
Hulk
it might have
Hogan. I
been.
think you said the Hulk.
I don't know.
I watched a lot of wrestling. We actually built a ring.
Is that wrestling with an R?
Yeah, it was an A too. Wrestle.
Wrestling, whatever. We tussled around in my yard.
Tussled.
Tussled.
When's the last time you heard that? They tussled a little bit.
Soundbite. That's how
Hey.
you soundbite. Hey, will you better go back and save that one?
Oh, that was, trust me.
Hey,
That one is coming back, I
now-
promise you.
you've made it.
You've made it.
You're
Thank you.
in.
You have
Tussle.
made it.
We have to kind of use some words like that in schooling. Because in middle school, we don't always have fights. We have tussling.
Tussling.
Tussle around.
Yeah.
Wrestle around. You know.
At our school.
I like it.
At our school.
I mean, I can't lie to you. I like it. That is just awesome. I mean, it is. That's great.
I do want to say this too. When talking about schooling and everything, and Jessica knows this too. We're being really. They're starting this new grading system in TR Military. All the schools across the state are being graded now, which used to be the way they did schools in Florida, and you get an A, a B, a C, or whatever. And then but before it used to be either a passing school or failing school. And I'd just like to give a shout out to our kids and our principal, Mr. Powell, and everybody else, because the highest grade in our county was a B, and we made a B.
Wow.
And we're looking forward to moving that on up to an A, but it's super hard to
Congrats.
do. But we know that we can do it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations. That's I mean, that stuff all is getting tougher, isn't
And
it?
we weren't the only school that made a B. But
No, but I'm saying, but I mean, all
Right.
that's getting
It
tougher,
is.
isn't it? I mean,
It
as
is.
far as what you guys have to
Because
do and how you have to
right.
teach. I mean,
and you never know what the child came in with the night before, and they take that test.
And every night before that,
Right.
yeah,
But the teachers are accounted for that.
yeah, and that's tough. That's tough. Yeah,
Tough.
it is. So
But you get summers off.
Don't ever say that to me.
Don't ever. If he
knows better, doesn't he?
DJ, you might
I know
get an
better.
elbow. You might get a bite. Like, you better watch out with that hand. I didn't eat but a little bit of that pound cake.
Put the lid on that
and I might get a bite off his,
hey, thank you, ladies, for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
having us.
Got the blood drive on Monday.
Yes.
There at Trustmark Bank from 8 till 3. T-shirts available if you able to give blood. There'll be snacks also. Don't forget about the snacks. Make sure you're at the blood drive on Monday. Thank you to all our teachers and nurses for all that you do. We've had a good time here with all of you today. Susan, we had a great time with you. Sarah Ann and Sharman, thank y'all so much for giving your time. A lot of fun. To all you mothers out there, have a great weekend and a happy Mother's Day on Sunday. It's been a lot of fun.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Drive Time, live from the Peach Pit in historic Bruton, Alabama. Remember to tune in every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m.-ish. Remember to like and share the Drive Time videos, as the more you like and share, the more chances you have to win.
Street is jumping.